Most gardeners treat August as a month to just water and wait. August is actually one of the most important pruning months of the year, a pivotal time to rejuvenate tired perennials, encourage a second flush of blooms, and keep your garden looking fresh well into autumn. The secret is knowing which plants benefit from a cutback now and how to do it properly. A light trim this month redirects the plant's energy toward producing new shoots and flower buds, giving you a second wind of color before the colder months arrive. Here are 10 perennials to cut back in August for a healthier, more vibrant garden.
Hey guys, quick heads up. If you see any plants or tools you like in this video, I've linked all my favorites on the screen and down below. Super easy to check out. All right, let's get into it.
Number 1. Catmint. Catmint puts on a spectacular show in early summer with its lavender blue flowers and aromatic foliage. By August, however, those once lovely blooms have faded and the plant starts to look leggy and worn out. A light cutback at this time encourages dense new growth and may even spark another wave of blooms before fall. How to do it? Use clean, sharp shears to trim back the stems by about 1/3, targeting spent flower stalks and lanky growth. Cut just above a set of healthy leaves or buds. Water deeply after trimming to reduce stress. What you'll get? Fresh, compact growth and a second round of lavender blue flowers that will keep the pollinators visiting well into autumn. The improved air circulation also helps prevent disease.
Number 2. Salvia. Salvias are garden favorites for their long-blooming, vibrant flower spikes that attract pollinators by the dozen. But by August, many species, especially Salvia nemorosa, have finished their main flowering and can start looking tired and straggly. How to do it? After the main flowering period, remove spent flower stalks down to a healthy leaf node. For bushier varieties, prune up to 1/3 of the plant's height. Cut back the stems to where you can see fresh growth emerging at the base. What you'll get? A second flush of vibrant flower spikes that will carry you through to early autumn. The plant will maintain a compact, attractive shape rather than flopping open. Number 3. Coreopsis. Coreopsis produces abundant daisy-like flowers through summer in cheerful shades of yellow, gold, and orange. By August, it can become scraggly and overgrown, with spent blooms and leggy stems dragging down the overall appearance. How to do it? Use pruning shears to cut stems down by about 1/3, targeting faded blooms and overgrown growth. Cut back to a healthy leaf or bud. Water the plant immediately after pruning to reduce stress. What you'll get? Prolonged blooming into early fall and a tidier, more compact plant. The new growth will be fresh and vigorous. Number 4. Bee balm. Bee balm is a striking perennial with vibrant, tufted blooms loved by hummingbirds and pollinators. However, by late summer, it can become prone to powdery mildew and root rot if overcrowded. The dense foliage traps moisture, creating the perfect environment for disease. How to do it? Remove about 1/3 of the stems, focusing on older or diseased growth. Thin out dense clumps to prevent crowding. Cut stems back to healthy foliage or to the ground if they're badly affected. Water consistently, but avoid wetting the foliage. What you'll get? Improved air circulation that reduces disease risks significantly. Healthier plants with fresh growth and potentially a second round of blooms.
Number 5. Yarrow. Yarrow is characterized by tall stems capped with large clusters of tiny flowers in shades of yellow, white, pink, and red. As the season progresses, those long, thin stalks may grow floppy and unattractive. How to do it? Cut back the stalks to their lowest set of leaves to prompt healthy new growth. Deadhead any stronger stalks that are supporting spent blooms. They may be healthy enough to produce a new cap of flowers without full pruning. What you'll get? Healthy new growth and another crown of flowers.
The plant will stay more compact and upright rather than flopping over the sides of borders.
Number 6. Garden phlox. Garden phlox is a staple of summer gardens, but it has a well-known problem: powdery mildew. By August, many phlox varieties develop that telltale white coating on the foliage, diminishing the display exactly when it should be at its best. How to do it? Cut back spent flower stalks to a healthy leaf node or branching point. Remove any diseased or yellowing foliage at the base. Thin out crowded stems to improve air circulation through the plant. What you'll get? Improved airflow that reduces mildew pressure. The plant will redirect energy into producing a second, smaller flush of fragrant blooms that will carry you into early autumn. Number 7. Hardy geranium. Hardy geraniums, different from the tender pelargoniums sold as annuals, are reliable perennials that flower beautifully in early summer. By August, they can look tired, overgrown, and past their best. How to do it? Cut the foliage right down to the ground. Don't be timid. Hardy geraniums respond beautifully to hard pruning. Cut back all the old, sprawling growth to just above soil level. What you'll get? Plants that quickly spring back to life and bloom into fall. The fresh new foliage will be compact and attractive, and the second flush of flowers will often be just as impressive as the first.
Number 8. Delphinium. Delphiniums produce those magnificent tall spires of blue, purple, pink, or white flowers that are the pride of any cottage garden. By August, the main flowering spikes have faded and the plant looks ready for a refresh. How to do it? Cut spent flower stems back to a new flower shoot, or cut the stem right back to the ground, around 2 inches above the surface, ideally terminating at a branching point. Cut just above healthy buds so the plant knows where to grow next. What you'll get? A second flush of smaller but still beautiful flower spikes in late summer and early autumn. The plant will be rejuvenated and ready for next season. Number 9. Lupin. With their tall spikes of colorful, upright flowers, lupins look stunning in full bloom and make a fabulous feature in any border. In late summer, though, lupins can start to fade, with the vibrant colors losing intensity and the flowers wilting and drooping. How to do it? Cut just above the healthy buds. This signals to the plant where to direct its energy for new growth. Remove the entire spent flower spike back to the nearest healthy set of leaves. What you'll get? Fresh blooms later in the season and a healthier, more vigorous plant that's better prepared for winter. Number 10. Echinacea. Coneflowers are among the most reliable midsummer perennials, but by August, many of the early blooms have faded and the plant is busy producing seed heads. While the seed heads are valuable for winter birds, a strategic cutback can extend the blooming season significantly. How to do it? Deadhead spent flowers by cutting the stem back to the nearest healthy leaf or branching point. For plants that are looking particularly tired, you can cut back the entire plant by about 1/3. Leave some seed heads if you want to feed goldfinches through winter. What you'll get? Continued production of new blooms through late summer and into fall. The plant stays looking fresh and attractive rather than going to seed too early. Those are 10 perennials to cut back this August, not because they're dying, but because a timely trim is the smartest thing you can do for a healthier, more vibrant garden. Deadheading redirects energy back into producing more buds, extending color through late summer. Subscribe. New plant content every week. We'll see you in the next one.